For decades, doctors believed something simple. Stomach ulcers were caused by stress or spicy food. It made sense, it was accepted, and it was completely wrong. In the early 1980s, one scientist thought he had the real answer, but no one believed him. Not the experts, not the institutions. So he did something almost unthinkable. He drank a solution full of bacteria, knowing it could make him seriously ill, all to prove a point. To understand why this was so controversial, you have to understand what doctors believed at the time. Ulcers were incredibly common, painful sores in the stomach lining that could last for years. Patients were told to relax, avoid stress, and change their diet, because the stomach was thought to be too acidic for bacteria to survive. It seemed logical. No bacteria could live in acid that strong. So the idea that microbes could cause ulcers wasn't just unlikely. It was considered impossible. Then came a strange observation. Under a microscope, in samples taken from patients with ulcers, small, spiral-shaped bacteria appeared again and again. That observation caught the attention of two researchers. One of them was Barry Marshall, a young doctor with a growing suspicion that these bacteria weren't just present, they were the cause. The bacteria would later be known as Helicobacter pylori, or H. pylori. But at the time, this idea challenged everything medicine believed. Marshall and his colleague began presenting their findings, but the reaction was skepticism. Some dismissed the idea immediately. Others laughed, because if bacteria caused ulcers, it would overturn decades of medical teaching. It would change how millions of patients were treated, and that kind of change doesn't come easily. The scientific community demanded proof, strong, undeniable proof. But there was a problem. They couldn't easily test it. To prove bacteria caused ulcers, you would need to infect a healthy person and show that they developed the disease. But ethically, that wasn't possible. You couldn't just expose someone to a harmful organism. Without that proof, the idea remained just a theory. And without proof, no one would change their mind. Marshall was stuck. He had evidence, but not enough to convince the world. So he made a decision. If no one else could be the test subject, he would be. In 1984, Barry Marshall prepared an experiment. He took a culture of Helicobacter pylori and drank it. He knew the risks. He knew it could make him sick. But he also knew this might be the only way to prove the truth. At first, nothing happened. But within days, symptoms began to appear. Nausea and stomach pain intensified. His condition worsened quickly. Medical tests revealed inflammation in his stomach lining. Exactly what you'd expect if bacteria caused the damage. The theory was becoming reality, inside his own body. Marshall meticulously documented everything. The symptoms, the changes, the bacteria growing inside him. Then he treated himself with antibiotics, and the infection disappeared, just like that. Cause and cure finally linked. For the first time, clear evidence emerged. Bacteria could survive in the stomach and cause ulcers. Slowly, the scientific community began to change its mind. More studies confirmed these groundbreaking findings. Evidence accumulated, undeniable and compelling. The idea, once deemed impossible, became accepted. Ulcers weren't caused by stress alone. They were largely caused by infection. The impact was enormous. Millions of people around the world who had suffered for years now had a simple treatment: antibiotics. Instead of lifelong discomfort, many patients could be cured. A medical mystery finally solved. Years later, the discovery was fully recognized. In 2005, Barry Marshall and his colleague Robin Warren were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. What started as a controversial idea had changed global medicine. But think about what it took to get there. Not just intelligence, but conviction, the willingness to challenge accepted truth, and the courage to test it in the most extreme way possible. One decision, one act of belief, changed how we understand disease. History often celebrates breakthroughs, but it doesn't always show the risk behind them. The doubt, the resistance, the uncertainty. Barry Marshall didn't just make a discovery, he proved it by putting himself on the line, and in doing so, changed millions of lives.